all right. What's going on, folks? It's your boy TC, and I'm back for another day of our workshops. And give me a second to make sure that we're actually broadcasting live. Give Facebook a chance to do their thing. This is also being broadcast on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, I want you to take a second to click the red button below to subscribe, hit the bell, so every time I go live or every time I do a post, you'll be notified, because I believe you are going to want to get this information every single day when I'm presenting it. So let's take a look here, see if we're live and direct. Looks like we are. Let's make sure this volume is down. Let's share this in a few groups. All right. We're going to share this there. All right, so it looks like we have a few more people coming on. And the past few days, we've been talking about what are the obstacles that have been preventing millions of Americans from reaching their financial goals and causing them to have challenge when it comes to obtaining personal financial success. So I have this slide here behind me to start off just giving everyone an understanding when we say personal financial success, what we're talking about, and then the impact these obstacles have at preventing millions of Americans from reaching or obtaining personal financial success. So I believe that most Americans have basically two financial objectives. The first objective is to, make enough money during their working years, which typically income comes from their job or comes from business that they're working or building. And that income allows them to live a quality of life they set forth for themselves and their family. But that's only made possible by us leveraging our time and our skill sets on the job, or us leveraging our time and skill sets in the business. Without that, there's no money coming in. But bottom line, the first objective is to be able to make enough money to be able to live, take care of ourselves and our family. The second objective, because no one sets out to work for the rest of their lives, their entire adult lives, until they're old and can't do anything else. So the intent is at some point in time to be able to stop working, yet still have enough income coming in to either maintain or improve the quality of life. Now, most people want to improve it because now you have more time. See, during that first objective, we were using 40 to 60 hours a week to reach the amount of income we needed to be able to take care of our lifestyle. Now, once we're financially independent or retired, we now get those 40 to 60 hours back. Now we have more time. Now we have more time to travel, spend time with friends and family, do all those things that we really want to do. Many that we couldn't do consistently when we were working. So, however, the important part to understand about that second objective is that it's income-producing assets that bring us that income to allow us to maintain or improve our quality of life. Income-producing assets like stocks, bonds, retirement accounts, your 401ks, 403bs, TSPs, your residual-based businesses, your real estate portfolios. In other words, all those things that during our working years, we have to be building and growing in order for those things to take care of us down the road. Now, down the road, that's my key to talk a little bit about the strategy that millions of Americans have been encouraged and taught to utilize to get to down the road. And that's to go out and get a good education, which is nothing wrong with that. You can't ever stop learning. You should always be in that learning mode, right? Once you've gotten that education, they say use that education to get yourself a good job. And then while that good job is paying you that good money, you use some of that money to invest in your retirement account, your 401k, 403b, TSP, right? And then down the road, everything is going to be okay. Well, unfortunately, that dog don't hunt. Unfortunately, 96% of the working Americans that use that strategy fall short. Now, there's numerical reasons why. First of all, the masses aren't taught how money works. See, when you get your engineering degree, your architecture degree, your medical degree, your law degree, when you become a law enforcement officer, when you're becoming an attorney, a firefighter, a teacher, all these honorable professions, nowhere in that course of training are you typically taught about money. So you don't understand compound interest, how money grows. So you know to get a 401k, 403b, TSP, but you have absolutely no idea how it's working. Typically, they have no idea what type of fund it's in, how that fund grows. Is it a cash equivalent that your fund is in? Is it a stock? Is it large cap? What is it? So we don't learn much about money, so guess what? We don't know how that money is supposed to grow. In fact, when they told us to use this strategy and down to put money in and down the road we'll be okay, they never told us or helped us figure out how much money we need in our retirement account to accumulate to. So we don't even know, the masses don't even know if they're putting enough in to reach that number. So that amount will take care of them. Interest off it will take care of them for the rest of their life. So that's big reason why the masses fail to reach their financial goals using that strategy, because of a lack of financial literacy with respect to how money works, how money grows, how these 401ks and retirement accounts work. They don't understand the difference between a pension and a retirement account. They still think that their retirement account, their 401ks, 403bs are working like pensions because their great-grandparents worked and retired and their retirement was able to take care of them. Well, their retirement was a pension, not a retirement account, a 401k, 403b. So that's for another part of our series. But right now, we're here to talk about debt. Why? Because debt is one of those obstacles that are preventing the masses from reaching their goals. See, cash flow is a very important part of what we need in order to buy, build, and grow income-producing assets. And there are 5 obstacles that suck up the cash flow of the masses, which they no longer have that cash flow to go to work for them to buy, build, and grow income-producing assets, to max out their 401k, 403b, their TSP. See, here are these 5 obstacles that I was talking about. First, we talked about high taxes 2 days ago. Most Americans lose a third of their income to high taxes. So a third gone. That's a third that's not going to your retirement account. A third is not using for lifestyle instead of putting it on credit cards. So a third of their income gone. You can't buy, build, and grow income-producing assets with it. So we said that it's important to learn how to do it, put a strategy in place to counter that impact. Poor credit. Poor credit is significant because it affects our now and it affects our future. It affects our now, whether we can get a job or not, whether we'll get selected, because they use that now as a determining factor between 2 candidates. Also, it'll determine what our insurance premiums are. Insurance companies are now using credit scores to assess risk. Lower credit score, you're determined to be a higher risk, so insurance premiums are typically higher. Or now, it determines how high or low of an interest rate you're going to pay for the privilege of using a credit card, if you can get one. It's going to determine how high or low an interest rate you're going to pay for a car loan, if you can get one. It's going to determine how high or low an interest rate you're going to pay on your mortgage, if you can get one. So a credit score is very, very important. It plays a very important role in our cash flow. Higher the credit score, lower the interest rate, lower our borrowing costs, which means that's more of the money we get to retain to buy, build, and grow income-producing assets. See, all these obstacles have an impact on our cash that we need to buy, build, and grow income-producing assets during our working years. Otherwise, you can't ever retire. See, you have to replace you. And income-producing assets replace you with bringing income in. All right? What we're here to talk about today is the third obstacle to cash flow or to financial success, and that's debt. See, debt plays a major, major role in where we are in our finances. I want you to think about this. The average household loses 30 to 35% of their gross income to debt. So I want you to think about that. 30 to 35% of gross income is lost to service debt. So a third is gone because of taxes. So now you just lose another third of your income, gross income, because of debt. So we're talking anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a month going towards debt. Now, here's something important to note. Let's talk about credit card debt. See, the average household has about $16,000 of credit card debt. That's about $500 to $600 a month going towards credit card payments. So of that $1,000 to $1,500, $500 to $600 is going towards credit card payments, paying it off. Minimum balances, just a little over minimum balances. But here's the problem. It's going to take them about 15 years to pay off $16,000 worth of credit card debt. Now again, people don't understand how horrifying that is to think about if you understand finance and money. See, compound interest can be working for you aggressively, but unfortunately, compound interest works just as aggressively against you. So that $16,000 credit card debt, the typical household is going to take them 15 years to pay it off. They're going to be paying over $100,000 off on a $16,000 of debt. In other words, they pay over $84,000 worth of interest on a $16,000 pool of credit card debt. Now, no one would do that intentionally if they understood ahead of time how compound interest worked, if they understood ahead of time what the cost, the opportunity cost is. See, think about it. That's $84,000 that they didn't have to buy, build, and grow income-producing assets. See, what would have happened if that $16,000 would have been cash, would have been used to buy those items, and now they saved on all that interest. See, now here's another part of debt. It robs us of our legacy. It robs us of our retirement. Let me show you how vanity robs the typical employee of their retirement, of their freedom. See, we're not talking, when we talk about online businesses, we didn't even talk about the income part of it. People think it's just about making money. No, it's way more than that. It's about freedom. It's about getting your 40 to 60 hours back that you never intended to still be having to put forth in your 60s and your 70s. It's about getting your time back now in your 20s, in your 30s. Employing strategies, technology, online business to be able to do that, and smart financial strategies giving you the ability to do that. And understanding how debt plays a role in that. Now think about this. Every time you get a car note, so let's say you just had a car, you paid it off in 5 years, you paid it off, right? It's still working fine. The only reason, the absolute only reason, and you might not want to hear this, the only reason you get another car is because of vanity. What someone else will think about you driving that new shiny car, even though your other one was just fine. It's vanity. So that extra $350 a month, $400 a month when you add in the extra insurance, costing you your freedom, because that's $400 a month that's not going to buy, build, and grow income-producing assets. Now, people do that 2, 3, 4, 5 times during their career. That's part of why they cannot retire. That's part of why they don't get their 40 to 60 hours back. That's part of the reason why their retirement account isn't at a level that the interest off of the loan can take care of them because of vanity. But now it gets worse. I want you to think about this. It gets worse. Not only do you sacrifice your freedom for that vanity, and because really it's because of a lack of financial literacy, because if you knew better, you would do better. Most people would do better. Think about this. Not only do you sacrifice your freedom, but you also sacrifice your children's legacy. All right? So parents, let's say you have a child that's a sophomore in high school right now. It's summertime's coming up. Now they got their junior year, senior year, and then 4 years of college. That's 6 years ahead of them. Now, what's going to happen at the end of that 6 years? Are you going to congratulate them and take them out to dinner? Or are you really going to step up? See, what do I mean? See, when you paid your car off their sophomore year, if you sufficed vanity and you said, you know what, instead of getting another car note, I'm going to take that $350, that $400 I was going to spend on a car, and I'm going to put it away for my son or daughter. So that's $400 a month. For the next 6 years, you put it away and put it in a CD. You put it in a bond. You just put it in something that's going to make some interest, but it's not too risky because you don't want to lose it. You wanted to have it for them, right? So that gains grows a little interest. So now that's $400 a month times 12 months times 6 years. That's almost $30,000. With interest, it would definitely be at least $30,000. So now, when your son or daughter graduates, you can do more and say, I'm so proud of you, take some pictures, then take them out to dinner. You can say, baby, Here's $30,000 for a down payment on your first house, your first apartment. Oh, here's $30,000 to start your first business. See, you don't have to sentence them through a life of labor on a job. You can get them kick-started, jump-started in their first business. Other cultures, that's their method of operation. We just weren't taught to do that. So, debt plays a major role in that. You can use that $350 to accumulate some more debt, either a car note, or you can use it to invest in your children's legacy. See, so it all boils back to financial literacy, understanding how money works, so then you understand what you can do with your dollar that's going to give you the best rate of return. Now, we'll talk down the road a little more about, investment education, financial education. We'll talk about that down the road. But right now, it's important to understand that these three obstacles behind me, high taxes, poor credit, too much debt, sucks up more than half of your cash flow that we no longer have at our disposal to buy, build, and grow income-producing assets, which will be there for us, or should be there for us, to give us our 40 to 60 hours back, to give us time freedom, to give us location freedom, to give us financial freedom, because those assets now bring in the dollars we need to take care of us the rest of our lives. And guess what? You then get to will it and transfer it to your children and your grandbabies. So, 5 obstacles, 3 are down. High taxes, poor credit, too much debt. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the red button below and subscribe. Hit that bell so every time I'm on here, you'll get notification. You'll be able to come watch this video and get some of this information where I'm talking about the benefits of online businesses. They are absolute necessities. See, I'm going to show how that online business is going to save you on your taxes and put more tax dollars back in your paycheck. How an online business is going to give you the ability to repair, build, and maintain great credit. How the online business is going to give you extra cash flow to rapidly eliminate your debt. See, I'm already giving you a clue on how we are going to counter the impact of not only these 3 obstacles, but the next 2 that are coming in the next 2 days. So tomorrow, we're going to talk about inadequate investing and savings. That's going to be the 4th obstacle that we talk about. Okay? So I will see you all tomorrow live, 7 p.m., right back here. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You guys take care. God bless. Your boy TC. I'm out.